Hi and welcome to another episode of the Feminine Heart Show with Jess. So, how are all of you doing today? And how is your week going so far? For me, it's going pretty well, and right now it's raining and it's cloudy, so yeah, so I'm pretty happy. I like rainy days. So let's start today's video. So in my last video I discussed about the most common relationship dynamics that we notice, and I also promised that I am going to share with you my secret formula of deep connection in today's video. Before we start the video, I would like to ask those people who have not watched my last video to please go ahead and watch it. You might find it difficult to follow along this video without watching that. I'm gonna link it down in the description box. You'll also find it up here in the info. So yeah, let's start. So there are a total of 10 components which together make the deep connection. So what are those 10 things? Let's see. Emotional attraction, open heart, acknowledgement, safety, acceptance, respect, understanding, forgiveness, trust, and no judgment or criticism. So right now you can see on the screen the exact formula. If you are interested, you can actually take a screenshot of it for your future reference. So we have all heard about attraction. We have all heard about physical attraction. But what is emotional attraction? So when we start a relationship, how do you feel? Don't you feel excited and ignited by the idea of your partner? You want to see them, you want to be with them, you want to spend more time with them. You miss them when you're not with them. So that is what emotional attraction is. But as the relationship progresses, it kind of decreases. So what to do about that? So for that, we have to refer to the term called polarity. What is polarity? Polarity states that opposites attract. Like plus will get attracted to the minus, masculine will get attracted to the feminine, and vice versa. Now, I am talking about feminine and masculine energies in this case, and it has nothing to do with the body. Ideally, all women should have 75% feminine energy and 25% masculine energy, and vice versa for men. Now, what happens is, when the relationship progresses, the women, they sometimes start being more in their masculine, and the men are already in their masculine. That just takes away that polarity from that relationship. Same thing happens if a man behaves more from his feminine energy than his masculine energy. So, and often for some people, some rare people, the woman is in the masculine and the man is in his feminine. So in that case, there will be polarity. So that's basically it. So you have to maintain the polarity in the relationship. You have to really observe from where you are coming from. Is it the masculine, the feminine, and from which energy your partner is coming from? Is it the masculine or feminine? So accordingly you can change your own energy, and that will build up the polarity in relationship. So I'm going to talk about this topic, emotional attraction and polarity, in some coming videos. So let's now jump into the next point, that is open heart. Now, what is open heart? We have all heard about it. Keep your heart open. What is that? So when we get wounded, what happens? we close off a part of ourselves, we close off a part of our hearts. We don't want to share that because we are scared. If we open our hearts and if we share those parts of ourselves, we might get wounded again. And because when you open your heart, there is more chance of you getting wounded if your partner leaves you. So because of that, many people prefer their hearts closed. But when your heart is closed, you are also disconnecting from that other person. You're not fully experiencing that other person. You're not fully expressing yourself, showing those parts of you. And when there is vulnerability, when you show your vulnerabilities to another person, that just builds deep connection with the other person. So it's important to have an open heart. You cannot depend on your partner to not hurt you, because everybody has their own story, and it's just not, it cannot be written on stone that this person will not hurt you. So in order to keep your heart open, what do you need to do? You need to heal those wounded parts of you first, because once you heal those wounded parts of you, you will have that confidence in yourself that even if this person hurts you, you will be able to pull yourself back up. You'll be able to heal yourself again, and that makes you more confident and more ready to open your heart. Acknowledgement. What is acknowledgement, and how can you acknowledge your partner? So often we are so busy with our own lives that we do not see the small things that our partners do for us, and over time we start taking them for granted. I mean, I have done it, we all have done it, and it does not feel good for the other person, does it? When somebody takes you for granted, how does it feel? So what we can do is we can start by acknowledging them. Now, how do we start acknowledging them? We can start with acknowledging their importance in our lives. So obviously we are with them because in some way or other they are important to us. So we need to start with that, letting them know that they are important to us, making them feel seen and heard, and also appreciating them for all the things that they do for us that they need not have done, that was not necessary for them to do, but they still did those things to make us happy, to see us happy. So that way we can start with acknowledging our partners, and when you feel acknowledged, won't you feel good? And when you feel good, won't you feel more open towards that person? So yeah, that's why acknowledgement is a very important part. Now let's dive right into the next point, that is safety. Now, if you don't feel safe, will you really feel like opening up? You won't, right? We don't feel like opening up unless we feel safe. So now safety means different things for different people, depending on how wounded a person is, depending on what someone has gone through in their lives. Safety would have different meaning for different people. For some people, physical safety is more important. For some people, it's emotional safety. You can provide your partner safety by just being there for them. So it means different things for different people. So you need to find out what makes your partner feel more safe, and then let them feel more safe around you, because when there is safety, there is more openness, and when there is more openness, there is more connection. So now dive into the next point, that is that is acceptance. Now, acceptance is a very important part, because the society tells us that we have to be a certain way for us to be accepted. There is media flashing all these different kinds of ideas about what is the perfect ideal body type you should have, what is the ideal behavior. So we are constantly bombarded with all these ideas about what is the ideal way we should be. But in all this hocus pocus, we kind of miss accepting ourselves, seeing ourselves for who we are in reality. Because often when we feel that is the way to be, we just reject our true authentic self, and we try to be like somebody else. We try to be something else that we are not, and that just does not feel right, does it? Deep inside, we all know that it does not feel good. So that's why acceptance is important. And when you start accepting yourself for who you are, you will be able to accept your partner more. Now, let's say that your partner is screaming at you and you feel that it's not an acceptable behavior. Well, in that case, you have to first look at yourself, okay? And you have to look into your feelings. What are you feeling when your partner is shouting? Are you feeling scared? Are you feeling angry? What is that exact feeling, that emotion that is coming up? And once you figure out what is the emotion, just try and find out why you are having that emotion. Most of the times, it all relates back to the childhood. Maybe as a kid, someone shouted at you, and you felt that it's not right because you did not do anything to deserve that kind of shouting. So maybe because of that, when your partner shouts at you, you get triggered. So we always have some kind of strong emotional response to something. When we feel triggered, when there is something that is already in us, some kind of experience that we already have had in the past, and this current behavior, this current experience is reminding you of that uncomfortable past behavior. So you have to go back and analyze and try to find out what is your story. Second thing you have to look into is this your idea, or is this the idea of someone else? Is this the idea of the society? This feeling that this is unacceptable, somebody shouting at you, because many times we adapt somebody else's ideas, and we feel that is our own. Okay, so that is something you have to look into. Third thing that you can look into is why is your partner behaving that way? Is your partner having a bad day? What is it that's going on in your through your partner's mind? So those are the three things you have to consider. So yeah, those are the 5 points I wanted to talk about today. And the next 5 points I'm going to talk about in my next video, so please stay tuned. I am going to upload that video this coming Sunday. So I would love to know what you guys felt about today's topic and what's your take on it. So please leave comments below. I would love to read them, and like and subscribe to my channel. So that's it for today. Bye for now. We'll see you on Sunday. Have a good weekend.